the thing I've been like trying to navigate is what I want my career to look like how much tattooing I want to do, how much painting I want to do. Do I want to do something else too? Like I think about like whether I want it to even be the thing that I'm making the most money doing.
This is not therapy. So just to clarify, you mean tattooing specifically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tattooing.
Just for the audience sake. Like that's what you mean.
So like whether I want tattooing to even be like the main thing that I'm making money doing, or if it's something that could just become what it was for so long, which was like just fun.
Yeah.
And just doing projects that I really love doing.
Yeah.
There's such a point of like, oh, as soon as I get to a certain level and I'm good enough, then it'll be way easier. I won't have to work as hard to get the clients. I'll just be working on the actual projects themselves.
Right.
And then the way that the economy's been and the way that the whole culture of tattooing has shifted, it has not been that way. It's been just continual grind. And every month of like trying to get people in and trying to get projects booked. And I don't know if I want to do that forever.
Yeah.
I do want to make painting another source of income. But I was also like, maybe I take a bullshit job that I just work from home that I can make like $60,000 a year, $50,000 a year. And then it's enough that I could work from home, but I could also be painting while I'm doing it. I could have a laptop here, respond to that email quick, and then back to painting. And it would offer that extra level of security. But also I might hate that. Hate the idea of having a boss, hate the idea of being in that. I don't know what the right thing to do with any of that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, like, with something like that, like, how easy would it be to find a totally remote job that is easy enough?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to do that, would that reignite this like passion for tattooing again, or would you just be in the place where it's like this only worse, you're grinding but you hate what you do and you still get to do other things too? But what would that balance be? Like, it's hard to know, I guess. A couple questions. You said that you experience existential dread usually sometime during the day. What does that look like for you? Like, what normally sparks that? And is it specifically like financial, or just like, what does my whole future look like? Or like, what is that moment for you?
99.98% is financial.
Okay.
It's a feeling of, I'm like, what's my next tattoo? Oh, it's not till Saturday and it's Monday. And also I only have 2 more tattoos booked all month, and I have $4,000 of overhead that I have to pay this month on top of any fun money and groceries and bills and whatever else outside of that. So I need to have like 6 more bookings, and I'm running ads and I'm spending $100 and booking nobody. And then it's like this dread sets in of like, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this work? Why do I have to do this every month? It's so fucking annoying. And so that's what it looks like. And sometimes it can become, I feel like there was a while where I really liked that. Like, it fueled me. And I could use it as motivation. And I would always be like, I can get myself out of any of it because I'll figure out an ad and I'll do these different runs and I'll make it work. And I've always made it work. I've been doing it for 6 years full time, made it work every month that I've had this happen, which is most months. But there's something in me that I'm just like, I just don't care enough. I care enough that like I need to survive and I want us to like thrive. And so I really want it to work. And also I just have no passion for trying to find an ad that works anymore, or figure out a deal that people will come in for. And so it's this tough balance of sitting there and looking at my calendar, looking at the ads that I'm running, trying to figure it out, trying to talk to these people, and also just being like so uninterested. And the stress that it causes, I don't know, is worth it all the time. If I could just do projects that I wanted to do, I think I would really start to love it again more. Because I have so much fun doing stuff, just doing a lot of projects that are things that I want to do.
Yeah.
That's another reason I'm really liking painting, is because I'm just doing whatever I want. But I know that as soon as that becomes a business, then it's going to become its own beast of that, where it's you're doing commissions a lot, and now you're only really getting commissions, and so you need to do more of them, and then it's just doing stuff that you want to do, and that's fine. I get that that's like the name of the game. I just wish that I think that if there was less financial stress around it,
Yeah.
and I felt more comfortable in terms of like a day-to-day living and financial standpoint, I think I wouldn't care all about doing these other projects.
Yeah. When what makes a project, like let's say you got a DM right now from like a new client you've never had before requesting a certain project, what would make it a project that is fulfilling to you?
The main thing is something that challenges me,
Mhm.
which is why I have all these. When I did like the color portraits for the first time, I was so excited. I woke up every day. I was making I was only charging $200 for each of them, and for full day sessions. And I woke up like jumping out of bed. Like I was so stoked. I bought all this ink. I got all these different things. I was watching videos. I was so excited, and it was something new, something I could challenge myself in, something that was really fun. Now I want to do like a big back piece that's all color, like one color face, a color realism face, and like one scene, but just huge, giant face. Like that would make it really exciting for me. Full sleeves and backs that are something interesting that I can have a lot of creative control around all day.
When do you feel like this shift happened for you, when you went from feeling like driven by the stress and the last minute pressure of like, okay, I need to problem solve and make this work, to now you're feeling like that is exhausting to me. I don't want that life anymore. When did that shift happen?
I think it was somewhere during the tour.
Okay.
I did a tattoo tour for a little while, a couple months, and I just traveled around to a new city every week. That was before that. I was in LA working at Atomic Tattoo, and that was really. I felt so driven there to like make videos. I was making a lot of video content and doing a lot of little skits and tattooing myself constantly. The towards the end of that time was probably around when it started happening, where I was like feeling a little bit more burnt out and I wasn't tattooing myself really anymore. I ran out of space for the most part. And then also I knew I was going to be leaving soon and trying to find a shop and do all that kind of stuff. When I went on the tour, it was really fun, but it was so stressful. Mainly I was just blowing through money and not making enough money, and was trying to run ads in each city, but I was like, I'm not going here long enough to get people they're not available that week.
Yeah.
And I can't even afford to run the ad until like a week before I get there.
Yeah.
I also can't afford the plane ticket or the bus ticket or however I'm getting there until a couple days before when I get this tattoo money from this person. So I couldn't afford anything until the last minute. So everything's so expensive now. You can't cook there. You have to go out and eat, and you want to see the city anyway. But it just felt so stressful, and that was a big point of me being like, oh no. And then when I got to Denver, it was like starting a whole new client base over again. And so it felt kind of the same, where it was like trying to just build it, get anybody in and try to run any specials I could. And so I would say, yeah, somewhere in that range. And it's kind of built up over the years from there.
Yeah. So like burnt out on the tour and then never really recovered in that regard. So, I mean, with that, I guess, like you said that, you know, you want like a work-life balance and you want to be doing these creative projects and making money and all that. What perfect world, what is a good work-life balance to you?
To be able to wake up and be like, I'm going to paint today, and then decide, actually, you have off today now, and I just want to hang out with you instead, and maybe we go to the studio and paint for like an hour, and then be like, I'm not really into it, and then we just go hang out and watch a movie or do whatever. I would like the freedom to be able to do that, and then have days where I'm in here for 10 hours a day and hustling and just painting all day. I would like to tattoo only projects that I want to do, and to do that like once or twice a week at a max.
It's like a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, and I don't want to be like, I don't want to be having to stay here until 3 a.m. or something, and then coming home late and be like, sorry, I had to work late. Like, no, never want that. That's terrible. I might want to be like, hey, I want to paint till 3 a.m. You want to come hang out or something, but I don't want to like, I never want work to be my life. And also, I feel like a lot of my work right now is my life, kind of. It's a large part of it, but it doesn't feel like work a lot of the time to me.
So the work that doesn't feel like work to you, does that mean like you're on the side creative projects, or like what does that mean?
Yeah, I think the painting projects, and then also filming like when we were filming the shot for the painting projects, which I want to do more of, like staging shots for paintings, and even building the canvases and stuff, and also even the actual act of tattooing. Half the time doesn't feel like work at all.
Yeah.
The other half the time I'm like, oh, I wish I was done already, and it's only 3 hours in, and I have another 3 hours.
Yeah.
But so I can't just drop it and be like, all right, I'm out of here. But and like the cleaning and setting up and breaking down all feels like work.
Yeah.
But the actual part of tattooing most of the time does not feel like work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I answer it?
You're doing great, baby. Does it feel like there's any like compromise to be had? Is there any way to challenge yourself in tattooing while you are still reliant on it for your finances? Is there a way to like make these projects more exciting to you that inherently wouldn't be otherwise? Like different techniques or different styles, or you're not as comfortable in, and so that might be more exciting to you?
Potentially. The only thing I could think of is if I wanted to try a different technique. I think that like there's some design things I could do that would excite me if I could figure out a different way to design things that I feel like would be really cool and challenging and interesting. The issue is getting people to want that style
Yeah.
because it would be a little bit more weird,
Yeah.
not what is on my portfolio. So I would have to discount it down heavily. And also, if they're coming to me because of my portfolio, it's going to be hard to convince them to potentially hey, I want to try this other technique, or I want to try this other style if you're down for me to design it that way.
Yeah.
I think I have some clients who would do that. I mean, I have a lot that probably would do that, but it wouldn't be new people, and these people aren't necessarily coming in all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, in theory, though, if that went well, if you tried something weird that excited you with old clients, then that would become your portfolio, and then could potentially bring other people in if it was successful, if you liked it.
Yeah.
But that's a risk too, I know.
Yeah. And I'd be down to try that. I don't really know how. Like, we'd have to maybe advertise that in a specific way or something.
Yeah.
It's all just so hard.
Financial stress is really intense and overwhelming. It is really challenging, and it makes sense that you have existential dread in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
How do you get yourself out of those moments when that happens? Or do you?
I do, but it's usually just an acceptance of what is happening. So, yeah, the question is really like, in the current climate, the way that things are right now, if that lasted forever, would I be happy in that? And the answer would be no.
Yeah.
If it changed back to some other time periods, or to what it could be potentially, would I be happy in that? Yes, to a degree. But I wouldn't want to work as hard as I was working then, tattooing only. Because I was tattooing like 9 days out of 12 or something.
Yeah.
Full day, 8-hour, 9-hour days.
It's a lot.
It was a lot. And my back was killing me and my hands hurt. And it was just not like, I had no life outside of it. It was all I did. And I would get home and I would have to draw for the next morning. So it'd be like 16, 17-hour days every day. And I'd have one day off. But that day would just be spent trying to book other people or trying to draw for the next, trying to get ahead. So I don't want that to, I don't think I'd be happy in that scenario either. So I don't know. What I have to wrestle with is like what that looks like and what would make me happy in that. If I was to take a job that's either a 9 to 5 or just a part-time thing, I feel like I wouldn't be like the most happy in the world, but I feel like the stress levels of making that check for the amount of work that I'm doing wouldn't be a bad trade-off
Mhm.
because it would allow me to tattoo only what I want to, and I could tattoo on the weekends, and I could paint during the week while I'm working and at nights. I feel like that wouldn't be a bad trade-off. It would lose some of the freedom that I want.
If things continue, like the climate, the economy, if things continue the way that they are, at what point would you make that switch to get another job and not?
I mean, I think like soonish. I think that right now it's like the most dead I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
It's more dead than when I was an apprentice. And I was charging $400 a day then.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm still charging a lot more than that, but not so much more that I was booked out for months as an apprentice at $400 a day.
Yeah.
Crazy. And so right now I either have to figure out, I would say in the next couple months, depending on how bills and everything look and what happens in things, it's something that I'm thinking about at least exploring and seeing, putting feelers out, seeing what's up with it, and then also if I do something and I'm like, oh, I hate this, I hate having a boss again, and this is actually a nightmare, then I'll just quit.
Yeah. Do you think, I guess, like, what compromise do you think would be more acceptable? Would it be having a boss, having a part-time job to like alleviate that stress, but keep this shop sacred?
Mhm.
Or would it be like allowing other artists to rent some of this space
Mm.
so that, you're not really doing anything except you're now needing to share the space, but you still don't have a boss. They will bring in their own clients. They're paying rent to you. That's alleviating some bills, and potentially their clients will then have interest in you. Do you does that feel like a compromise that could also be on the table, or is that like an absolute no for you?
Potentially. What that would be is really either do I want to have a boss, guaranteed income, or do I want to be a boss,
Mm-hmm.
potentially guaranteed income? A lot of times artists are very flaky. They just don't pay sometimes, or they're behind, or they need grace in this scenario, but then now I'm on the hook for it.
Or even if we were to like create the space for it, that could be something that like you just do some like guest spots here, like when people are in town or something
sort
like
of stuff.
that, which is not, again, is like sustainable. But
Yeah, I'm open to that too.
so I guess my question then is like what, and you don't have to know, but like what would feel like better to you? Because it feels like at least right now, for the given moment, like there has to be some type of compromise made.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess the question is sort of like, what are you more willing to compromise? Is it like having a boss, being a boss, kind of,
Yeah, I think the way that I'm thinking about it is that the compromise to have someone in here. One, I just really like the space being our space,
Mhm.
and I want to be able to just hang a canvas on the wall and have the whole area to paint and like do whatever I want in here and have whatever music we want to have on.
Yeah.
And also, if we had one artist in here at $1,000 a month, it's only $12,000 a year. So we'd be sacrificing that for $12,000, which in my mind, I'm like, I can make $12,000 by just running a different ad or something. Obviously, that's not always a perfect solution. But in my mind, I'm like, that's one extra day a month or something. So that one feels tough to me unless it was something that was bringing in $40,000 a year or something like
Yeah.
that. Whereas I feel like that if I could find a job that was more lax, not you have to be there 24/7. But I've had remote jobs like this before where I'm really working 2 days out of the 5.
Yeah.
And the other days I'm barely doing anything. And in that scenario, you could make $50,000 to $100,000 a year doing that and have guaranteed paychecks coming in. And yeah, if you're phoning it in, you might get fired at some point. But you get a good run, you know?
Hmm.
And so that feels to me going into it with a mindset of I'm going to talk to them and be like, yeah, all in. And I'm going to do good work. But I'm also going to not, it's not going to be my life.
It doesn't
I'm
have
not
to
gonna
be your
dedicating
passion. Yeah, you can
so
you can do good work.
clock it out exactly when I'm
yeah.
supposed to, and I'll be there 5 minutes late, potentially. And so that feels better to me because it feels like my mindset around it is okay, let's get some more money in to allow more freedom with the art
Yeah.
so I can be happier in the things that actually matter to me
Yeah.
instead of feeling so stressed and so unhappy a lot of times in it,
Yeah.
where it's like burning it out for me and it's making it like not what it was for so long.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's the perfect solution. It's just something I've been thinking about
Yeah.
whether to explore that or not.
I think it's a good perspective to have. And I think it's really good that it feels like your motivation in this is like, how do I stay passionate in the things that I want to be passionate in? And how do I hold on to the things that I care about? And you're willing to make other changes in your life around that to honor those things.
Mhm.
I think that that's really huge. I think that there are just like a lot of people that are really like stubborn in it and double down. They're like, well, I got this shop and I spent all this money. So like I have to be an amazing tattoo artist that works X amount of days a month. And I'm not really willing to do anything else because this is like my whole identity now.
Mhm.
And that's not your perspective. You're like, yes, I'm good at this. And I have had great clients and I like it enough, but I am burnt out. And so I'm willing to like do other things to make life work. Like you're not so confined in this like identity crisis. It's like
Yeah.
the existential crisis of I don't want to be so stressed out. I would be a happier person if I had more financial stability,
Mhm.
but it's not an identity crisis of like who am I if I'm not a full-time artist, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that that's like huge. I mean, I think that that's the biggest thing at the end of the day is when like identity gets wrapped up in these decisions. And
Mhm.
I admire that about you, that you love yourself and you're confident and you just want to make a happier life for yourself and for us. And
Yeah.
you're not like held back by other stubbornness there. I think is huge.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I do think painting will work out at some point, but I know it's going to take a while. It's going to take a couple of years to build an audience around that
Yeah,
and
totally.
to get sales and
Yeah.
start figuring out the art markets and all that stuff. Like I'm so new in that. So
Yeah.
I do think that that'll be something that will help with supplement income, but I do think it'll take a little while. So in the meantime, I'm just trying to figure out a way to make it work to where we can like pay off debts and start saving for a house and do all that while also being in here a lot and painting and tattooing and so I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do all of that.
Yeah. How are you feeling outside of logistics and financial stress and stuff?
That was so
Like
good.
otherwise things are good.
Yeah, I feel like I feel so happy because of you and I'm getting married to my soulmate. And then also another thing that's interesting is I think like meeting you and being in this relationship has also shifted so much of this thoughts around this stuff because I think that for a long time it was so much of I did double down so many times and it was like I have to make this work. I don't know what life would look like outside of that. I don't know if I would be happy in that. I think I'd be miserable if I had this other job. But right now I don't think about that at all because I'm like I'm not gonna be miserable. I'm still gonna be painting, and also at the end of the day I'm gonna be able to hang out with you, be able to get off and go home and watch a movie and cook dinner and cuddle and great.
Play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Play Who Wants to Be a fucking millionaire. And so I think that like I'm just so happy in general. It's just the financial stress of how to make months work.
Yeah.
And we have all these goals of like trying to get a house and trying to get out of debt and all of that I really want to try to tackle. And it feels like right now pushing it the opposite direction.
Mm.
And I hate that. And so much of it is, I'm like, I don't really give a shit. I just want to be able to create as good of a life as we can have, and be able to have as much fun as we can have, and be as least stressed as possible.
Yeah.
And create as much art as we can.
Yeah.
And if we can achieve all of those things, great. I don't care how it comes or what happens around that.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So, I feel good outside of it.
Good.
I just hate that stuff.
Yeah. I'll also say, like, I think that it's okay for like different seasons of life to bring different things.
Mm-hmm.
And that us having these goals is super important because it is driving us and it's keeping us dreaming and it's giving us some sense of direction. I also think, though, there doesn't need to be a timeline on like when we achieve a lot of those things. Like we need, like, yes, we need to be working hard. We need to be paying our bills. We need to be chipping away at our debt. And yes, getting a house will be amazing. Paying a mortgage instead of rent, but it's okay if that takes a while. Like it's okay for us to have long periods of time that like we're not able to save up for a house yet. Like I don't think that that's going to take away from the vision. I don't think that that's taking away from our happiness.
Yeah.
At least like from where I'm sitting. Yeah. It's like, that's going to be so like unbelievably life-changing, exciting when we can buy a house and like make it what we want it to be. I'm so excited for that. But I don't feel like there's a single moment that we're any less happy because we don't have that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I agree.
It's okay if it takes a while, and I don't want, yes, like I think it's really important that you're thinking in these terms and that you are thinking through compromises and like, because what matters to me and I think to you is that, you not be just so weighed down by this stress all the time and that you be able to just enjoy your life. Like, I think that that's the motivating factor that needs to be the motivating factor, not the timeline of like, well, I have to get this other job so that we can meet our goals.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay for those goals to take half a lifetime. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, because I don't know when we'll be able to buy a house, even in this scenario.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's a motivator to get back out of debt and then to get and start saving for that, and then whatever happens around that.
Yeah.
Whatever timeline. But yeah, I do think the stress part is the main crux. And that's just a benefit of being able to have a little bit more financial freedom of, okay, now we can start going after these goals or start trying to figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
Whereas right now I feel like I can't even think about them. Right now I'm thinking about how can I break even this month enough to like pay these bills on time.
Yeah. But we'll figure it out.
I love you.
I love you too.